Check mic. What's going on, people? We're live. It's been a minute since I went live here on the old YouTube here. Okay. What's going on? All right. Just going to wait a little bit for some people to get in here. And we're going to get rolling on this live here in 2025. What an exciting time. What's going on, guys? For some reason, I can't see any chat, so hopefully you guys can see me and you can hear me okay. I haven't gone live on YouTube in a minute, so forgive my ignorance here, but I think we're live. Let me just double check. But anyway, I hope you guys are well. We're gonna go over I'm gonna open something really cool that I got in. It's a new product that I've been working on and developing. You guys have probably already seen it, but I'm just gonna unbox it live here. I'm gonna take dog training questions. If I can figure out how to freaking get in the comments. I don't know. Okay, here they are. What's going on? All right, so we have a bunch of people in here. Thank you, guys. I'm actually just going to watch my live as you're watching my live in the chat. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to do some questions, some dog training questions first. We'll probably take 2 dog training questions, maybe a couple quick little rippers. And then I'm going to unbox a new product that I've been working on, tell you guys all about it, how to use it, where to get it, how it can benefit you in your dog training. And then at the end, we'll do some dog training questions again. So hopefully you guys can hear me and see me okay. Let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me and see me okay. Like I said before, this is the first time I've gone live in a minute. So I'm hoping that everything looks and sounds good. All good. Thank you, Paulette. Okay, thank you, all the people. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Everything sounds good. Thank you so much. Thank you, Debbie, Sierra, Mark. Awesome. Good. We're ready to rock. All right. So before we get into the unboxing and the new product, in the comments, let me know if you guys have any dog training questions. I'd love to help you out and get into some of that. And then we're going to get fired up into the unboxing of a new product. And it's not just you guys may have seen it before, but it's the first time I'm going to be actually looking at everything. So I'm going to get into some comment questions here, and then we're going to roll into that, and then we're going to do more comment questions. So let's get into Sienna. Any advice for dogs who are fear aggressive when people come into the house but are fine outside of the house? 2 things come to mind. I think the first thing would simply be telling your guests to ignore your dog. So if people come into your house and your dog is sketchy or insecure or nervous and not really sure what to do, then the best thing to do is say, ignore my dog. He or she is a little nervous Nelly. If your dog is actively going towards the people, barking at the people, maybe being reactive towards the people, then that's really your position to put the dog on a leash at the very minimum. A lot of people, when they have a dog that is fearful, or even not, even if people have dogs who are really excited and they're young, or maybe they're just happy dogs that like to see people, if your dog isn't behaving the way that you want them to behave, then you're giving them too much freedom. For example, my father-in-law last night let Burley out of the crate, and he is not supposed to be out of the crate unattended, simply because he is still a 4-month-old puppy up here in a gigantic 1-year-old, 150-pound blockhead dog. And we told him, nope, to make sure you watch him if you let him out. And sure enough, within about 5 minutes, he ripped up Lakota, my other dog's bed. To be fair and to give context, it was also just the cushion of the bed that I just bought from LL Bean, the orthopedic bed, and he tore right into that because he's a puppy. And so I guess my point is, guys, is the reason why we don't allow our puppies or our juvenile or immature dogs out of sight or free roaming is because they haven't earned the freedom yet. It's kind of like a child learning how to ride a bike or learn how to drive. You're not just going to say, here you go to the Tour de France or go on a road trip across the country. They don't know how to handle that situation. So at the very least, if you have an insecure dog and they're reactive or fearful or freaking out when people come in, the most important thing to do is keep them on a leash. That way you can minimize any type of reactivity, and or you can help build confidence by bringing the dog up to the people and having your guests be neutral to the dog. Because the objective with a fearful dog or with any dog isn't to say, hey, I want you to be friends with these people, because they don't live there. So they don't really need to be. They just need to be neutral. Dogs just need to be neutral. Anyway, Kevin, Susan, Abby, Kelly in the Bay, welcome to the live 2025. Again, it's been, I don't know, probably a couple years since I've been live on YouTube. I go live on the Tom Davis Online Academy every week. So that's taken up a lot of my live time, but here we are on YouTube live. We're going to get into some more questions, and then I'm going to be unboxing a brand new product that I'm excited to show you guys. And then we're going to do more questions after that. And I'll pretty much stay on here as long as I can to answer as many questions as I can from you guys. Okay. Abby asks, I have a 1-year-old Catalan Shepherd dog. Any advice? And I probably butchered that. Sorry, Abby. Any advice on how to often I should give rewards and walks to keep engagement? It's a great question. And it really is predicated off of the dog's where the dog's at in training. So engagement, guys, for those of you who are watching and may not know about engagement, is going to be very simply the idea that, sorry, an ad just popped up, but the engagement is going to be very simple. It's going to be the dog is paying attention to you. The dog is looking at you. The dog is excited to be with you. The dog is motivated to be with you. And what I like to do, especially with my treats, I don't have any cracked open, I don't think, but they're like little tiny beef liver cubes. And what I do is I give a little bit of food and I let the dog chew it up and I take it away. And those nubs I created specifically for dog training. They're not just, hey, you look pretty and you're a good dog. They're actually for professional dog training. And so when you're doing engagement with dogs, to answer your question, your reward schedule should vary. Your reward schedule should always be consistent. If the dog does something, you want to reward them. But as far as engagement, what I like to do is really predicate the engagement in the feeding schedule or the reward schedule with an external food or external reward, which is going to be food, is going to be predicated off of how long your dog has been working. For an example, if you just brought a dog out to heel an outside environment for the very first time, pretty much I'm really sticky with that dog. Heel, yes, good heel, yes, good heel, yes, good heel. And the dog's like pouncing up and they're really engaged. And this is like, you're really capturing the dog's engagement outside. And as you get better and as the dog becomes more experienced, you're going to then start to decrease and wind down the food payment to the dog. And so there is no exact answer to that, but the reality is you really want to reward the dog when they're doing well. And as the dog continues to do well, then you're going to remove the external foods incrementally, but still always have the verbal cues to the dog. Sim, hey Tom, do you have any experience with deaf dogs? We cannot use e-collar here in the Netherlands, you know. What is your technique with dogs? You can give advice. Thank you in advance. Yeah, it's a good question. If you can't get the dog's attention with a remote collar, you're limited, obviously, because the dog can't hear you. And so as far as training goes, and I don't think that this is specifically for off leash, obviously, but it's just like inexperience with deaf dogs. Yes. What I like to do is give the dog physical cues. So it'll be like, this is calm, this is down, this is sit, whatever. And so you get the dog's attention through either a little leash pressure, the dog looks at you, you do your visual cue to the dog, and then they do the behavior after. So the only thing you're missing is obviously the audible cue. and you'll replace the audible cue with some sort of physical cue for the dog. And that's my recommendation for that. I'm just cruising through some other questions here. Blah, 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 blah. Sienna, when are you releasing different flavors of the treats? We're not just yet. It took us a lot of energy and preparation to do just the organic beef liver. It's something that we'll probably move to chicken next year and have both of those proteins. But right now, it's just beef liver. Let's get into Jimmy J. Hey, who is going to win today, Liverpool or Man U? Oh, good question. I don't know. I don't want to say anything because I don't want my UK and European homies to get upset with me. But I'm sure it's going to be a great game regardless. Mama Mew Bear, probably Mama Bear. I'm receiving my PTSD Air Force son service dog, 10 years old, in the next few months to live with us. He is moving and cannot take him. I have a 3-year-old disciplined cat. What suggestions to acclimate? I think just advocating for both the cat and the dog and understanding that there is going to be some primal, instinctual chase and cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry stuff going on likely. And so I would do a lot of baby gates. I would do potentially muzzling to the dog if the dog is actually aggressively going after the cat. Obviously, the more obedience that you have, the more success you're going to have with the dog. What that means is when the dog is running around the house, potentially chasing the cat, if that becomes a thing, the better you can say, come, place, down, stay, or leave it. All of those things should disengage the dog off the cat, the more success you're going to have. And I talk about this a lot with dog owners on my podcast and, here on YouTube, is we're not trying to specifically take the dog, and if the dog doesn't like the cat or if the dog wants to chase the cat because they see the cat as prey, we can't change that. Just like you can't change certain dogs not liking other dogs, you can't change that. Same thing with people. So your job is to manage and to go through the processes with the dog to ultimately manage the situation for success. So the first initial things would be taking it very slow, seeing what the interactions are going to be. I would get baby gates for the safe interaction for the dog to get away from the cat. Anyway, when is the best time to start the e-collar, Susan? Good question. The best time to start the e-collar would be once the dog understands the basic obedience that you're applying the remote collar with. So the remote collar really is it's a privilege to have. It's an advanced piece of technology that you're putting on the dog to control them with your already pre-existing conditioning. So you're just using the remote collar, layering it in with your conditioning. And so the answer is as long as the dog has really good obedience, and then you're taking the remote collar and you're layering it in. I'm going to do one more question, and then we're going to get into the unboxing and reveal of the new product. And then we're going to take some more questions. I'm drinking some mud water right now too, mixed with a little bit of coffee. Let's go Spicy Tony. Well, that's good. Okay, let's get another question right here from Raul. Let's see. Hey, Tom. What do you think about the capture training? Basically letting the dog offer behavior, then mark and reward versus food lure and leash pressure teaching. Would it work for an English Mastiff, I think? I think what you're describing, Raul, is free shaping, which is essentially waiting for the dog to do the thing that you want them to do and then paying them. I think it's very, very clear. I think it's very important. And it's actually significantly important for people to understand that there's a lot of different ways to train because there's a lot of different dogs that we're trying to train. That doesn't make much sense, but let me explain. So when you get a dog that comes in with a behavioral issue that I primarily focus on, like, right, that's on my channel, you guys see typically over and over and over again, you'll get a dog with a behavioral issue. When I go in to train that particular dog, it's not going to be the same way I would go and train a 8-week-old golden retriever puppy to walk on a leash. We're not going to use the same equipment. Likely, we're not going to be using the same marker system. When you're trying to, as a trainer, go in and basically change everything in how the dog reacts and perceives information emotionally and physically, the training is going to be significantly different than other pieces of obedience. And that is a big piece to why there is a lot of controversy in dog training, especially in this industry, is because people don't understand that contrast. And I think that that's just ignorance, and unfortunately just part of every single every single piece in every industry. There's going to be people who just jump on the bandwagon and they don't realize the complexities of dog training and the huge umbrella that it covers. And so to answer your question about basically free shaping a dog, it's absolutely great to do if you have the time and you have the ability to do it, right? If you have the drive and the dog and the dog does well with that, that's fine. But what a lot of people don't realize, I think, as a dog trainer is people bring us dogs and we have a short period of time to basically change 8 years, 6 years, 5 years, 6 months of the dog owners trashing the dogs basically, and we have to reinstate everything back in. So that's just important anyway to understand. So is the remote collar different from the e-collar? I ordered your collar on Amazon. It's a No Bad Dogs collar. It's subjective. You ask that person to 5 different people, you'll get different answers. It's probably subjective. In my opinion, in my experience, the remote collar is the same thing as the e-collar. So anyway, hey Tom, it's been my dream for years to come intern you. How can I make that happen? Well, we do do interns and shadow stuff. You just have to email us. Go to our website, upstatecanine.com, and you can email us on how to do that. Okay. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to get into the unboxing. Any recommendations for longer, I think, prongs on your version of the 280C? My default, don't touch the golden skin. I would get the wingtips. The wingtips are nice for that collar. All right, it's random, but you like, yeah. Well, my wife has this unhealthy obsession, right? It's me and my wife that drink. I drink mud water. Sometimes I drink coffee, depending on the day. And she does pretty much every day too. How many mugs does one couple need? I mean, we have like almost every state. Starbucks does this, like I forget what it's called, like Bend There mug collection, I think it's called. This is the Colorado. Actually, this is the Colorado Cup. I got her on the day that we got engaged in Colorado. I wanted to make the best day possible for her, so I went out and got her cup. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what we need. Another freaking cup. We have about 35 of those upstairs. We use 2. And let's get into the unboxing and the new product that we're going to talk about today. And again, this is the first time I'm going to be unboxing this product in its entirety and really just checking it out with you guys. It's something that me and my partnership have been working on for a while. It's also a smoothie that I have every single day. All right. Are you guys ready for this? Bum, 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 boom. Cool. So this is the brand new Dogtra Tom Davis e-collar. We're going to talk about all things e-collar. We're going to answer questions about e-collar training and even whatever questions you have after. But I just wanted to go over this for 2 reasons. Many reasons. I absolutely love my community on YouTube. You guys have changed my life. You guys have given me a life that I am extremely grateful for. I get to do what I love, which is helping people connect with their dogs and have a healthier relationship. And without you guys on YouTube, I wouldn't be able to have this house or anything. So thank you guys so much. And so I wanted to go live with you guys. And I also wanted to do this unboxing because it's very rare in my career that we get something that I can unbox live, right? I'm a dog trainer. It's not like, I'm a reviewer or something. So this is the No Bad Dogs Tom Davis 280C edition. So if you guys remember the launch of this remote collar, this was the very first, I think I'm the first dog trainer in the history of dog training to have their own signature series remote collar with the company. And that is such a cool thing. So this is the OG one dog system. And now we're going to go over which I still love, by the way. Actually, here's our very first prototype of this. This is never before seen. You can see this is like Scotch taped on, and the colors were a little bit different here. And this was the very first prototype that we had, if you guys can see the tape on there. So I always keep that back here. They also came out with another collar I can show you guys if you're interested. And so this is the Dogtra Tom Davis No Bad Dogs 280C 2.0. So this is the new collar that we're going to be talking about. The biggest difference with this, guys, is going to be the ability to add another dog. So this is 2-dog compatible. So if you guys see down here somewhere, I think it's down here. It's 2-dog compatible, and it has some new features on it. And I'm going to unbox it to show you guys what it looks like. So this is the e-collar box. Ooh, sweet. My favorite color is green, which is why we went everything green. We changed to that No Bad Dogs to my actual logo, No Bad Dogs, because we didn't have a logo when we first did that, and now we do. So that looks really good. I'm super happy with that. It looks really good. And then also, this is new on this unit. On the back, it comes with all of these instructions, I guess, like very, very in-depth instructions. We're actually going to be filming next week a tutorial on how to use the 2-dog system with my own dogs. So that's going to be coming out. And so look, here we go here. This is the actual remote for the unit, which is very different. People sometimes, when they look at even my other collar, they're like, I don't like the colors. And I'm like, that's fine. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be different. I think remote collar and e-collar training, in my experience, has been such a rewarding, game-changing, fun thing. I want the collar and the system that we use to really represent the funness in training dogs with the remote collar. So we went super cool with this. We have the No Bad Dogs logo here. This is the blue back that I just wanted to contrast and be super funky with. It has the nick, the continuous nick, and I think this is actually the tone's on the front now. So if you see this, there's the tone on the front and then the pager, and then this is your 1 and 2 up here. So this is how to toggle between collar 1 and 2. So instead of, which I do right now when I go off leash with my dogs, I carry 2 remotes. And so instead of carrying 2 remotes, you literally can put 2 collars on 1 remote, and you can toggle between 1 and 2. Now, of course, there are many systems out there that have, I think, up to like 10 dogs on a system. But if you're anything like me, you're going to mess that up. And that's not going to be fair to the dogs. And so 1 and 2 is a really good, that's my limit anyway. So let's take a look at the actual remote, and we'll see the collar, and see what this looks like. So this is super sharp. So it comes with a completely different bungee system than the other one. The other one has the little antennas, and this is completely different. So this is an actual Biothane collar, but what it has is it has these little bungee circles on it. So it still has the bungee effect. So when the dog is wearing it, it's comfortable for them when they're moving and grooving and running and biting and chewing and doing all the things that dogs do. It has the same color kind of scheme here, the blue and the green, kind of matching that. Obviously, it comes with a charger and it comes with the plate. And let me just show you guys the additional collar that you would purchase right here. So this is the additional receiver, and this is a completely different color, which is my favorite color here. So we have the quick release buckle, and this is the additional color. So let's see. Package includes the receiver only. Let's pop this baby open. I'm going to be taking questions after this, guys, on everything related to this. So this is new, guys. So the new things on this is the quick release buckle, the audible tone, and expandable 2-dog system, right? So it has the nick, the continuous nick, the HPP, and a vibration. And this is a medium output. And it has a boost. This one does have a boost as well. Okay, cool. Not as fancy as the other little swag, but oh yeah, I'm loving this. I love the funkiness, the reds and the yellows and the greens, and so I'm really liking this. This is the very first time that I'm actually putting my hands on this. This looks really nice. I like this a lot. So this is the second receiver. So this one will go on your second dog. And the reason why we put in the beginning, Dogtra wanted to put the same collar strap for both. And I'm like, no, don't do that, because when I train two dogs on two systems, I like to know that dog one is on red, dog two is on white or whatever. And that's really easy to color code. And then what I typically do is when I size my personal dogs up with this and I'm not training dogs with it, what I'll do is I'll just cut this extra stuff after, just because you don't need it. And so this is pretty cool. Let's turn the Bad Baby on and see what we look like. So we're going to turn on the collar by using this on button. I always say we're going to make the red light, the red dots kiss here. I want to see, oh, it beeps, baby. That's pretty cool. So we're beeping here. I like that. I like the beep. That's something I haven't heard on a Dogtra unit before. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure how to pair that just yet, and I don't want to waste y'all's time. Let's see if we can get this baby paired. And a lot of times Dogtra, oh, we're beeping again. We're beeping. Okay, cool. Maybe if you guys in the comments, let me know if you think it would be beneficial for me to read how to pair this collar, so you know, I'll certainly do that. All right, so we have the HPP, which is the high performance pager. If you guys have watched me long enough, you know that that's kind of my secret weapon that I use for dog reactivity in deactivating and disrupting a dog that's reactive to get them to think clearly. So you guys probably can't hear it, but it's a buzz buzz. So that's the pager on front right here. So you're going to use the pager. And this is my experience. The cool thing about this collar, guys, is Dogtra back in the day. I've been using Dogtra since I started. It's the first e-collar I ever used. And when they approached me with the idea of doing a collaboration collar, I was so excited, obviously. And I want you to know that pretty much every step of the way throughout the process, I'm involved with the functionality and also with the colors and the designs of the box and the units. And so I made this specific. I'm a dog trainer. I'm a professional dog trainer. I've been doing it now for over a decade. And I put a lot of input into this. The only thing that they weren't able to do in this collar that I wish they had is the light, which they have now put on some other Dogtra units. But maybe that'll be something we can do in the future. But the pager is the HPP, which is the high performance pager. It's extremely typically an aversive correction to the dog, but it's just a vibration. So it's pretty intense. And I particularly use that for really deactivating and disrupting a dog's reactivity if they're doing something that's dangerous. Excuse me. And now we have the very new tone. So that's pretty freaking cool. So what you guys could do with the tone, you might be asking and thinking, is you can condition your dog to do whatever you want with the tone. And all you would do is you would hit the tone and likely you'll do recall. So maybe if the dog can't hear you or the dog can't see you when they're wearing this, they hear the tone and they come back, which is awesome. Because that happened a lot. There was a lot of people who did ask that question. Like, what if your dog can't see you? What if your dog can't hear you? You do 1, 2, the dog comes back beautifully, and you condition the dog that way. This collar has 127 levels. Let's check that out. So you'll see on the front here, your levels go all the way up to 127. So that's the highest it goes. It's likely a number you'll never get close to. Has your charging points and so on and so forth. So overall, I'm super stoked with this. I'm very excited about this. How do we add a second unit? I wonder if that tells us here in the instructions. Let's see. All right, follow these steps. I'm not good with following these steps, so we're already off to a bad start. Just kidding. All right, so we're going to go down to 0. So you're going to put your e-collar on 0. And let's see, set 1D up, 2D up, toggle switch in the transmitter. With the receiver turned off, place the red dot on the transmitter, hold the red dot receiver, hold together until the light blinks green, right? Yeah, okay, press the NIC continuous NIC together. Okay, so it's just like, so let's see if we can do this. So we're going to hold this down on this unit. Now we're off. Ooh, that's cool. That's new. So it beeps when it's off. That's cool. So we're going to hold this. The collar beeps or flashes green. So now what we're going to do is we're going to hold the they're now locked and loaded. But now they're both synced up. All right, let's do this again. So this is the beauty of going live. This is available on Dogtra's website. It's not available on Amazon, but I'm going to be posting it everywhere once it is. But I just wanted to show you guys because I'm super fired up. They sent it to me last week, and I'm like, I got to show you guys this. So let's repair it. So let's go toggle to dog 2 by switching from 1 to 2. We're going to turn this collar off because we already paired it to 1. It beeps when it turns off, which is a new feature, which is nice. So we're going to hold red dot, red dot. We're going to hold them together. The light's going to turn on green, and we're going to wait for it to flash. It's flashing. We're on dog 2. We're holding these two together. And now we have them paired. Awesome. So dog 1, you guys can probably hear. Oops. Beep, beep. Pager works. Toggle down to dog 2. That would be Lakota. That works. So that's how you do it. Awesome. Woohoo! That's really exciting. So I'm sure you guys aren't completely new to remote collars and what they could do, but obviously it gives you the opportunity to, we're going into another commercial break. So I'm going to wait 10 seconds and we're back. We're going to take some questions here. Please let me know in the comments right now. Put them in what questions you have. But I am so honored and excited about this new unit. Again, it's funky. It's different. People, last collar introduction we put out, hated the colors. They love the colors. They like the colors. They dislike the colors. Of course, I care what people think, but at the same time, I want to do something different. I want to blaze my own trail, and Dogtra has allowed me to do that. And this is another funky creation we've done. It's very like when we were doing this, I was like thinking Cotopaxi. I was thinking Patagonia. I'm thinking like all the things that I really like. I like to have a lot of color. If you guys couldn't tell with, my treats and stuff, which are right here, which are now available, the No Bad Dog Nubs, 100% organic beef liver treats. But we didn't want to go plain Jane. We didn't want to go, here's a white bag with some treats. I wanted it to be, although that would be cool too. I wanted it to be different. So in the comments below, please let me know what questions you have. Freddie, do you use e-collar on 10 to 14 pound adult dogs? So I think on the front of this, it actually, or no, maybe the back. Let's see. So on the back, it'll say expandable dogs 10 pounds plus. So this will go from 10 pound plus. So the answer is yes. Small dogs deserve training too. And there's absolutely no reason why small dogs don't get remote collar training and have the off-leash capabilities and reliabilities. So yes, you could use it for that. Absolutely. But anyway, so this is the new unit I'm super stoked on. What other questions do we have? First off, your videos have been a game changer for me. How can I stop my dog from grumbling, talking when being barked at by my other dogs? Sierra. This is another question from Sierra. Maybe we have multiple Sierras in this chat. Again, we're going to make a video on this today, actually. This is part of, people all the time will say, how do I get my dogs to stop doing things? And my job is to really, as a trainer and as a professional with years of experience, is to say, what is fair, warranted behavior, natural behavior that's probably not going to go away, that we're going to try to suppress, dismantle or intervene, right? Like, how do you stop a dog from pulling on the leash? Well, you teach them heel first. How do you stop a dog from growling at another dog? That's something that there's something going on between them. It's a natural, primitive thing. And your job is to interject and say, hey, knock it off. What are you doing? So you have to step in and advocate. It would be like if one kid was picking on the other kid is going to growl and get upset. And your job as a parent is to step in and go, hey, quit the crap, guys. You over there, you over there. And so you advocating for those dogs in that situation is really important. And I think that that's like the right thing to do without, obviously this is a one-way street on this live with more context, but generally speaking, I would just say that's what I would recommend, is to step in and advocate for the other dog. Rowdy, have you thought about adding the light feature? Yes. What is the earliest age, Mally? What is the earliest age you can use an e-collar on a puppy? I answered this earlier. That's going to be really simple. It's you have to make sure that when you're training a dog, no matter what you're doing with the remote collar introduction, that they know the foundation and they know how you're applying the remote collar. It's that simple. Like you're not going to put the remote collar on and just start using it with behaviors that they don't know what to do with. Like they're going to be more confused. And that's the thing about, remote collars. And that's why they get a bad rap a lot of times, is because quite literally, dog owners will put a remote collar on a dog and they don't know anything, and they'll just start using the remote collar, and it could mess your training up a little bit, because the dog's now confused, the dog is frustrated, the dog isn't clear on what you want or what you're trying to do. I'm trying to keep this in frame so you guys can see this collar here. But anyway, so that's my answer to that. Let me know in the comments what other questions you guys have. Again, I'm so excited about this new collar. It is available on dogtrainer.com. It's going to be available on Amazon very soon. SV says horrible. I'm unsubscribing. Okay. Hannah, I have a sweet GS. I'm assuming German Shepherd, but is bitey when playing with dogs and me. How can I train the outplay with her differently so I can socialize her when she's also when you come to California? I would do a tab leash, or the remote collar is really helpful for that. But the tab leash is also really helpful to be able to just really quickly and on time correct the dog when they are being too mouthy. So Javi or Javi maybe, hey Tom, because of your videos, I was able to help my friend with a reactive dog. Awesome. Jessica, hello. You've mentioned before that you got Burley as a protection for your family. How humbling of an experience has it been for you training with him, since it's a very tough breed? It's like I never trained a dog in my life. Burley is here's the thing, is I wanted the most protection, but I also thought it would be an adventure for me and you guys to train the hardest dogs to train ever. And that's exactly what he is. He's both. And very humbling. But I also expected it. So it wasn't like, wow, I can't believe this. Like I knew going into it that he was going to be a tough dog, because that's what it was. Where do I get the mud coffee? I get it. It's not coffee really. It's like chai. It's like a latte with mushrooms, and you can get it online. What's up? Lena Pete SV is unsubscribing. Pete, how can you tell the collar on a dog is low? Have generation 1 and we'll be buying this ASAP. Well, thank you for buying the new collar. That's amazing. I would say it's a good question, and there is definitely ways to tell if a dog is feeling the remote collar. But from my years of experience using the remote collar, I stay between that 3 and 5 range, where the dog barely feels it. They register. What is this? What is this? Somebody's tapping me. I'm not sure where it's coming from. So the moment that your dog physically starts to maybe scratch and say, hey, get this fly off of me, or this is maybe uncomfortable, then that's when it's too high to condition with. When we're conditioning the remote collar, at no point in time should it be corrective or aversive or any of that stuff. It should be very fun for your dog to condition. That's the goal of the remote collar and the way that I do it. I'm sure if you watched other dog trainers, it might be completely different, but all of my clients and all of my personal dogs have always really enjoyed and like seeing the remote collar when it comes out. So I'm just trying to read through the comments here because we got a bunch of them. Sierra wanted to say that you inspired me to get into dog training. I love your method so much. Thank you so much. Lena, I have reading that you have to be more gentle with Shibas. I haven't read. They're definitely dramatic. I don't know if you have to be gentle, but we'd have to define gentle, right? to tune in for the two dog system. That's a great question. If somebody wants to go to Dogtra and see how much it is and let me know, I honestly don't know, and I don't want to throw it out there. I'm not 100% sure. Can you use the tone like you would a clicker? Absolutely, Rowdy. It's a great question, and that's something that we're going to be doing with the remote collar. Is we're going to be probably charging the tone with like a yes and or replacing it, and so it'll be interesting, and it'll definitely be eye-opening for people who are maybe on the fence on the remote collar, because essentially the tone for the dog could be the clicker, and essentially once you hit tone, the dog's going to run to you for food, which is incredible, and it kind of really contradicts the idea that the remote collar is used only as a punitive measure, which obviously is not true. I've done more than enough videos to debunk that, but that will be really, really cool. I have Shiba Inu and used Tom Z collar, which has done amazing in her obedience. She's great freedom. She wants to know. Good. That's awesome. Also, really quick, because you guys are my homies, I want to let you know that we're coming out with some new courses, and it's right here on my list of things to do this month. Leash pulling course, advanced obedience, so how to take your obedience to the next level. We're doing a recall course, and we're doing an engagement course, and all of those are going to be mini courses, so they're going to be much cheaper than our full e-collar course or our full reactivity course. So I'm excited to film those for you guys coming up. Matt can't see. Do you recommend starting with a prong collar or alternating with the e-collar? It's a very loaded question to answer, because the prong collar and the e-collar are two separate things used for two separate things. So I don't know the context. So I have one question. I haven't been able to find the solution online. My dog's prong is one link too big, but when I take a link out, try to change the gauge of the collar. So if your gauge may be too big, so if you do smaller gauge, like a 2.25, they have smaller gauges, which will allow you to, I might have one right here, which will allow you to, yeah, I do. This is a 2.25 gauge prong. And so this is a smaller gauge prong right here. So you can see. So if you take one of these out, it's not as dramatic as taking out, another one, a bigger one, sorry. Thank you, Caitlin. When will you be in Texas? I don't know. The product, this is released on dogtra.com. It's just not released yet on Amazon. And I'm making this video for many reasons. I like to hang out with you guys on YouTube, but also I think it would be fun to do an unboxing, which we did. And also it's coming out. It's here. It's getting out there. What's the best way to introduce my 6-month-old border collie to pottying outside? She only uses one spot in the house, whether she's pads. I'd take a pad and put it outside, put your dog on a leash, and just stand there until they go. And if you trained your dog to go inside, it's going to be way more difficult to teach them outside, because they feel like that's the place that they needed to go. Just subscribe. Thank you so much. Do you still use the plastic pinch collar and Burley? I've switched to a Herm Springer. I also will use the Dogtra 1900S. I actually have Dogtra's 19X. If you guys are interested in showing you guys this, let me know in the comments, because I'd be more than happy to. It literally says one dog unit for mild to stubborn temperament dogs. Yeah, Burley has a 1900 currently, but he does fine with the 280C as well. In the comments, if you guys are live, let me know if you want me to crack that sucker open, because I'd be more than happy to pop that open for you guys and check it out. But it's a bigger unit, which has a couple more features, and it goes a longer distance. Mary, my mini schnauzer is 12 years old. He is too old for e-collar training. He's in good shape physically. Is he too old? No, he's not too old. Again, the remote collar is just the ability to condition a dog. If you guys are here, thank you so much for being here. First of all, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. If you guys like this video, that would also be helpful. Susan, do you leave prong on at all time? Absolutely not. Prong collar is only on when your dog is in training on leash with you. we've had some issues in the past where people we tell them this, take the collar off, and that's what you see on the internet with like the prong collar doing damage to dogs is likely because somebody left it on for 4 days. The dog embedded the prong collar or it irritated their skin to a point where now there's little cyst and boom. And then the owner gets pissed because they think the collar did it when technically the collar did do it, but because we left it on for long periods of time, that's what happened. And it's honestly the dog owner's fault. And that's why you see all those pictures online of what the prong collar can do. It's only because people leave them on for long periods of time. And it's not at any point in time supposed to be used for that. It's supposed to be taken off. It's like wearing your muddy boots to bed. Nobody would do that if they oh yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that? You take them off at the door, just like you take the prong collar off when you're done. I got a 1-year-old highly mixed dog from a shelter. He wants to play with everyone and every dog. He doesn't care about much about the slip. He gets choked out. Yes, a prong would not only be better, but it would be much safer for your dog. Daniela, I have charged mine once and had it for a month, not sure the actual specs, just my experience. I don't know the question there, but if I did, I'd answer it. What's the best position for the e-collar? I like right on the side right here. How long does the battery last in the transmitter of that collar? Do you charge them daily after use? I typically will pop them in at night just because, but a lot of times the units will last a couple days on a charge. Do you know if the old version can be paired? No, I'm pretty sure. I'm almost 90%, 99% sure the old unit cannot be paired with the new unit. Unfortunately, I think it does say that on the website as well. Just got the No Bad Dog hoodie. Love the material. It's amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, we're coming out with some new No Bad Dog swag coming up. So yes, we're gonna have some more stuff coming up. What do you use the pager button for? I typically will use that to disrupt a dog when they are freaking out. I call it it's when I use the pager, I call it when you're uh, it's a disruptor, but I only will use that in intervention mode. And if you guys have taken my e-collar course, I go over all of that in there. And I think right now we still have a coupon code for 50% off my e-collar course using code YouTube. I think. Try it. It's $100 off, which is nice. Does the collar have a boost for each dog? Yes, each collar will have their own boost. Um, absolutely. Um, Birdie's DIY. She was concerned with the young dog, but was told not to be outside around dog's age. Misleading that info. Okay. Columbus School. Which collar is best to start for my reactive 10-year-old mix? Their dogs whatever. Again, like guys, equipment is an extension of you. And so there's different collars for different dogs for sure, but it's important to know that it is accompanied by you. It's just like tools that you would get to build a house, a screwdriver, a tape measure, a saw. All those things are just an extension of us. We have to know how to use them at the appropriate times in order for them to be successful. And that's what tools are for the remote calling or for the dog training world as well. Have you ever thought about releasing a video on should you become a dog trainer? I have not. Wish I had more money for a class. Need more help than basics. My Shiba is weird to train. You could join the Tom Davis Online Academy, which gives you access to my personal trainers at the Upstate Canine Academy. You also go live with me once a week. And you get all of my uncut videos on YouTube, which means all of the videos that you guys see on YouTube is 10 to 15 minutes. It's a very small snippet of the entire process. And in the online academy, you actually get every single video I've done uncut. So every little piece. So that's a very, very affordable. It's as low as $19.99 a month. And to get access to my trainers, it's $39.99 a month. Super affordable way to be able to talk with dog trainers to see what's going on and in between check out all the videos we have of training other dogs. Are you able to teach Burley protection work, alert and bite? No, I'm not going to do any actual legit protection work with him because of who he is already. He is already good with that. He does not need any more enthusiasm to be protective because if you guys remember the first time I got him, he was reactive to Lakota the day I brought him home. So his genetics are already suited for that. Definitely. What other questions do we have? If you guys are watching this, first of all, thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful Sunday on my first live of 2025. You guys mean the world to me. Like I said before, you guys have changed my life in more ways than you guys know. And I really appreciate it. And this year, we are really excited to come out and create some new content and to do some creative content. And we're coming out with at least 4 new courses this year for you guys as well. So look out for that. This is my new Dogtra 280C Tom Davis 2.0 2-dog system. Let's see. Some people learn better. How is Lakota doing? She's doing good. Thank you for the question. Her recovery for her TPLO surgery is fine. She's pretty much 100%. Excuse me. The only thing that I haven't really had her do is down and sit because she's a little sore, and that's she basically had her knee redone, so that's fine. So I just do stays. I just do standing stays with her. Yeah. Do prong collars prevent lunging at other dogs? No. Your word, leave it or heel, should prevent your dog from lunging at other dogs. Your dog lunging at other dogs doesn't have anything to do with the equipment. It's because your obedience isn't good enough for your dog not to lunge. Everyone talks about conditioning levels. How do you know what level when about? I have a couple of YouTube videos. If you go to my channel, you can put in like, let's see, YouTube, and you actually go to my channel. There is an absolute great playlist with all my e-collar work on it, and I go over that a lot. I can't find it. I can find it. Let me just calm down for a second and focus. I get overwhelmed with all these questions and all these people. And let me find the e-collar off leash training remote collar videos. There's 47 of them. There's a good amount of here you go. Check these out. Boom. That's my e-collar playlist. I would go and check that out. We also have an e-collar, let me see, tomdaviscourses.com. We have an e-collar course. And like I said, I believe right now, if my wife didn't change it, we have a 50% off. Yeah, it's tomdaviscourses.com, and you guys can check out my e-collar course. E-collar should be done by a professional or with a guided course like that. And the code, I'll throw this in there for you guys. I think it's just YouTube. If you guys want to save some money. I always know, like, when I have Honey on my browser, so Honey is basically an app that gives you discounts and stuff. And whenever it's like, oh, coupon found, I'm always like, hell yeah. Especially a 50% off coupon. Anyway, I have a 1-year-old rescue. He is hypersensitive to loud noises, skateboards, bicycles. Could I use an e-collar on him? You could. But again, guys, like, I want you to really focus and understand that the e-collar is an extension of you. If you don't know how to build a house, the screwdriver and the hammer and the nails are going to be pointless. They're going to be useless. They're not going to work. It's not going to make sense. You have to make sure that when you are training with your dog, the e-collar is going to be an extension of you. The prong collar is an extension of you. The slip is an extension of you. The food is an extension of you. Every piece of tool that we use in dog training is going to be an extension of you. You are bridging those gaps together. So don't look at the equipment as this easy loophole, although it does make things a lot more efficient and safe for your dog's training, especially for reactivity, which is what I specialize in. You also have to understand that it's an extension of you. If I only have one dog, is there any reason to buy the 280C? No, I think one dog, if you have the original one, that's totally cool. The only difference with this, if you wanted to buy it like as the 2.0, is the tone. And you could add a second dog. So there is some features on the 280C 2.0 that aren't on the original one, even if you wanted to use it as just your regular one dog system. And that's going to be the tone, and it's going to be the coloration concepts of it as well. So don't buy something that you don't need, you know? Watching you as a full-time YouTuber and business owner, how do you manage your schedule? Holy crap, good question. It's very, 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 very overwhelming. I try very hard. It's a constant even how do I manage my schedule? I don't think I'm good at it, I'll say that. I do make it happen somehow, but I think it's delegating and prioritizing prioritizing what needs to be done. So I do a lot of lists. I have like notepads all over my desk and things like that just to make sure I'm organized. I also do like jujitsu 5 days a week. I also work out 5 days a week. I also have two young kids, running businesses. It is definitely really difficult, and I think you just have to make sacrifices. If that means waking up earlier, going to bed later, but also just making sure. Like it's been really hard for me over the years to put my health first, which is what I'm doing now. But I think it's just like, staying focused, getting earplugs, putting your phone down, turn your phone off, banging out all the things on your to-do list and doing it with passion is hard, but I think just you got to have a passion for it because it'll burn you out pretty quick. Because especially if you're running multiple businesses, like we have the podcast, we have obviously this YouTube channel, we have the Dog Training Academy, we have the merch, we have the courses, we have all of the things, right? And I think you just have to stay focused, make sure you're healthy. I completely just about stopped drinking completely alcohol. I don't drink a lot of caffeine because I was dependent on it and it gave me anxiety. And now I'm pretty like sober all around as far as like caffeine and all that stuff. So I've really been tapping into that, like cold plunging, saunas, keeping healthy. Actually, on my podcast, I talk about all that on how I stay healthy, and I would recommend checking that out. It's like really close in the last like 5 episodes, the No Bad Dogs podcast. What is the number one advice you give training? Leave it and heal. I can't treat her, right? Purple raindrops. What is the number one advice you give when training? Leave it and heal. Leave it is going to be something. Advice would be make sure you teach leave it before you need it in reality. So teach leave it off of something like food in the house, and then when you use leave it for things like outside, it's going to make sense. In the heal, a lot of people what they do is they expect too much without enough practice. So they go outside and try to teach a heal in a distracted environment, and that's where people fail. And again, we are working on an engagement course, a recall course, advanced obedience course, and a leash pulling course this year. So that'll be really helpful for you guys. Words are hard. Are you concerned with the recent honey scam? I don't even know what that is. So no. How do you get through to people that are understanding techniques and providing them when in a session? I think like, that's part of like the magic sauce that I've been able to accumulate over the years is just making sure that the people that I'm talking to, they understand it, they respect it, but also it's just like you have to have a lot of authority in what you're doing too. And I think that that changes from business to business and from trainer to trainer, right? Like if you go to somebody who has been dog training for 2 years and you're not really good about speaking and maybe you're not super confident, none of what I say makes sense. Because then you have to work on all of that, right? But if you go in and you work with somebody who's been doing it for a really long time and has a lot of authority and really is really smooth with the way that they present stuff, it's going to be a lot easier. So you have to also audit how you are presenting the information, not so much why aren't the owners getting this? It's also like, am I saying this the right way? Am I saying this in a way that actually is digestible? And I think that again, like out of all the things that I do, 80% of my seminars are filled with dog trainers, and what they come there for is how I'm able to work with people and how I'm able to work with dogs, and digest the information for them. So I think that that's important. Kevin, how long have you been doing jujitsu? I don't compete because I don't want to get hurt. I've been doing it for a year now, and I am a blue belt, and I'm looking to get my purple belt next year, which is crazy to say, but going 5 days a week and doing private sessions with my fourth degree black belt is going to help me accomplish that, I think. Um, you definitely inspire me. I want to build my own business someday and follow your progress. Awesome. We are doing a dog trainer level up program in the Tom Davis Online Academy. So you can check that out once that's live. But the Tom Davis Online Academy, as you guys may or may not know, it was the members club, and now we transitioned it to the Online Academy because that's where all our courses are. and that's where I'll put it here for you guys, and that's where all of my unreleased footage is, and of course, that's where my trainers are answering people's questions. How has dog training helped you become a dad? Super a lot, super a lot. It's a lot of conditioning. It's a lot of it's a lot of love. It's a lot of empathy. It's all the things that we do with dog training, right? Like if my son's like, I want this, I make him ask for it politely. Or if he's being really bad, we do a lot of negative punishment. So I take him out and I put him in his crib and I say, well, if you're going to hit mommy and daddy, this is where you're going to be, right? So we do a lot of negative punishment. We do just a lot of love. Every single day, my 2-year-old wakes up and says how much he loves mommy and daddy, which is incredible. So we fill his heart and his surroundings with love, but we also are very clear with him when he's doing something wrong, so that way he can grow up to be a very empathetic, balanced human being and understand the difference between wrong and right. And we're being proactive in his parenting instead of reactive later on when he's 16. And now we're like, oh, we need to teach him wrong from right now. We're doing all of that now. So it's the same thing how I would train a puppy, and getting all the groundwork done first and understanding the benefits of just being, nice and kind, understanding, and he's emotionally intelligent, which is crazy at 2 years, but it's pretty cool. Um, Kevin, I've gone to Atlas and all. Oh, cool. So you're local. Yeah, awesome. How do I Oh, we got an ad popping up. Hi from Scotland. I'm going to Scotland this year actually for a wedding because my cousin's getting married to a Scottish person. I have a reactive dog, but I can't take her outside. What do I do? I would suggest. Oh, that's more than what we have time for, my friend. I have hundreds of videos for free on YouTube. Look on my reactive playlist. I have a reactive to neutral course, which I believe is still $100 off using discount code YouTube. I would check that out. It's a really long question there. Kay, I've used the e-collar, but unsure if it has the level dog can feel it. I have a mini Aussie who has been good at recalling until she has after a deer. What e-collar do you have, Kay? Let me know in the comments. Jordan Shepard, I love your videos so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Lindy, can you show us your dogs? My dogs are upstairs. I would. I'm just going through some questions here. Appreciate you guys hopping on. Does heel have to be only one side of the leg? No, it can be both. We're wrapping up an hour here. If you guys are here and you're still wanting to ask some questions, please pop them into the comments right now so I can answer any last minute questions that we may have. I don't want to take up anybody's Sunday here. I just wanted to show you guys our brand new exciting collar with Dogtra, the Tom Davis 2.0. Do you remember the biggest breakthrough with a dog? You must have so many. What's your most memorable? I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a while. It's a great question, though. Do you prefer Dogtra over the Mini Educator? Why do you prefer Dogtra over the Mini Educator? Because I like this. I feel much better when I am here. I don't like the circle. I've used e-collar technologies. I think it's a good collar. It's just not for me. I really like the way that this feels on my hand. I like being able to just reach down and just use these fingers here, and it's just what I'm comfortable with. And so that's why I have partnered with Dogtra, and that's why I back them and support them and help them create some cool stuff. Sierra, what would your best advice be to somebody to get into dog training professionally? I would say understand that there are dog training is a huge umbrella, and where a lot of people find challenges and frustration the most is getting into an industry and they're a dog trainer, and it's like, I'm a specialist in a couple different things, and that's my lane. That's where I stay. So I think just like really looking at that and understanding that there's a huge umbrella. So. Thank you for the live, Tom. Appreciate the feedback. Thank you so much. Does having a canine good citizen agency help traveling to hotels, Airbnbs? Not to my knowledge. That's meaningless to them. Do you think European Committee member will change the situation in Europe as long as term process regarding dog-trained tools. I'm not sure. I know I'm doing everything I can to educate people on my end. So yeah. So anyway, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really, really, really appreciate it. This is the new Dogtra No Bad Dogs System 2.0. We're going to make some tutorials with this. We're going to be seeing this a lot more in the future. Have a lovely, 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 lovely weekend. And if you're watching this in the future, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys. Have a lovely day. And again, I really appreciate you guys hopping on here and talking dogs with me. So have a great day, guys. Talk to you next time. Bye.